Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and having a great day. First up, Peter Thiel has once again endorsed Bitcoin, which he recently argued is tantamount to digital gold. And much like gold, the billionaire co-founder of PayPal conjectures that the cryptocurrency is destined to be a store of value rather than a means of payment. It's like bars of gold in a vault, never move, he told a CNBC reporter during a conversation at the Economic Club of New York last week. People behind PayPal are very interesting. They are, a lot of people have been receiving emails from PayPal where their accounts have been stopped or are threatened to be stopped if they are using cryptocurrencies or are buying into cryptocurrencies or if their account is linked in any way to cryptocurrencies. But at the same exact time, they come forward all the time talking about how they have a huge high belief in cryptocurrencies and how they think the cryptocurrencies will be the next best thing in the entire world. Kind of odd, and even weirder after all of that. Despite his prediction, Thiel did not express complete confidence in Bitcoin and speculated that there is a 50 to 80% chance that it will have no value in the future. Nonetheless, he also noted that on the flip side, there's a 20 to 50% chance that it will increase in value. I told you a lot of people keep coming forward saying all these things about cryptocurrencies, but I think they're always trying to cover their backs. To who knows what's wrong with these people? Who says that you think that it'll be the equivalent to gold and then at some point it'll have no value in the future? I'm not really sure what game they're playing. A lot of people have been coming forward saying things like this. They say that it's going to be the thing that revolutionizes the world. And then they're like, yeah, but by 2025, it won't be around anymore. Don't know what's going on, but this is what Peter has said recently. Next up, France is bidding to become the most friendly jurisdiction for ICOs as their Ministry of Finance prepares to rush legislation that will create a voluntary regulatory framework according to local media. Our goal is to provide legal certainty for those who seek it without hindering those who want to follow their own path. We have a rather liberal approach. So this actually shocks me a lot that Paris is, well, it's kind of 50-50. So what's been happening with the entire Brexit thing, a lot of countries are realizing that a lot of companies are leaving the UK because of the Brexit and they're trying to get as much money as they can. We haven't really heard a lot of news really from the UK about cryptocurrencies and or ICOs and or really accepting them fully. But this seems to be that a lot of other countries are trying to pick up on the lost money that the UK will then miss out on. But this is very nice that they are at least trying in Paris to, Paris has also seemingly beaten London to it. I am all for this approach. I want countries to kind of fight over cryptocurrencies and or ICOs and or crypto companies to be working in their capitals, because I think this would be very big as time goes along. Like I said, these people aren't stupid. They see the money that's to be made here and they're going to start doing everything that they can to try and get more and more companies to go into their space. And I'm glad that Paris is taking initiative in doing this first. Next up, a top official at the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, has confirmed the existence of numerous investigations into ICO campaigns. On Thursday, Stephanie Avakian, co-director of the SEC's Enforcement Division, said the agency had dozens of investigations that relate to cryptocurrency and ICOs, according to Bloomberg BNA. During an appearance at this week's Investment Advisor Association conference in Washington, D.C., during her remarks, Avakian said that the agency is seeing a lot of the crypto space. I've said this probably about 3,800,000 times, even with only a couple hundred videos. I don't think they know that they cannot control cryptocurrency, so this is the main focus. This is why I'm constantly confused as the market keeps going down, or rather is not going up. We're receiving so much good news, and if you read, not even between the lines, just read the actual lines, they only care about ICOs. They cannot control the already established cryptocurrencies themselves, as they're trying to figure out if ICOs are commodities or securities or properties or whatever the case might be. No coin should actually be going down except for any relatively new ICO that hasn't gotten off the ground yet, or one that hasn't been scrutinized already by the SEC. But I mean, I think it'll take time for the market to kind of pick itself back up. The entire thing is going to completely revolve around ICOs and crypto exchanges, because obviously they have a focalized point. They're on a certain street and people can figure out where they are and they can regulate them this way. But yeah, this is everything that is happening around the world is pretty much focusing on ICOs, because a lot of these, as we have figured out, are pump and dumps. Last up, in a not so surprising move, Bitcoin miners may be turning off their machines at least until the Bitcoin price rebounds. It's no secret the Bitcoin price has been in a rut, which has dampened investor sentiment, but now it's also interfering with the plans of ambitious mining projects that have flooded the market since Bitcoin's peak at year end. At the current moment, I think it, so Bitcoin currently trades essentially at the break-even cost of mining a Bitcoin, currently at $8,038 based on mining model developed by our data science team. There was an article a couple of weeks ago. They were showing exactly how expensive it is to mine Bitcoin in each country and how much it costs to actually create one Bitcoin. I think the cheapest place was Venezuela and maybe some other South American country where they have tons of solar energy, and I think it comes out to $2,000 to make one Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin was around $20,000, these people were making a lot of money. But for the other countries where there isn't as much, not help, what's the word I'm looking for? Where it's not as cheap to use electricity, they are pretty much breaking even at this point, and this may lead a lot of gigantic companies to kind of turn off their machines for a while, at least until the price goes back up, because when they're turning off their machines, less coins are being made, there's a scarcity, then prices go back up. So this is kind of what I think they are leaning towards doing. Should the price dip below 8,000 and stay there for like a couple of weeks, I think they would definitely turn it off, because they just end up losing money in the long term. So it says when times are good, Bitcoin mining pays off, obviously. With this, China's Bitmain alone, they have generated between $3 and $4 billion in profits last year. I want you to think about that. Whenever you think that crypto is dying, or that, I have a firm belief that rich people are not ever going to let Bitcoin die simply because they have so much invested into it. When you have something that is making you $3 to $4 billion a year, you hold on to that thing for dear life. They are making tons of money, and this is just them. Fortune points out that mining pools tied to Bitmain and BTC.com control more than 40% of Bitcoin mining. They are never going to let Bitcoin die, no matter what anyone thinks. Maybe when the last Bitcoin has been mined, this is when they'll let it go. But until then, I think it has a bright and continual future for what it's worth. But yeah, the price has gotten so low now that a lot of people are actually coming forward saying, we may stop mining for some time, and I wonder exactly what that would do to the price. I wonder what would happen if, I was going to say, I wonder what would happen if all the miners stopped mining completely, but then that would stop all the transactions on the network. So I guess, yeah, scratch that. But yeah, that is going to do it for the news today. Pretty light news day. It is the weekend, and the weekends tend to not have an avalanche of news, but I hope you all have a great weekend wherever you are, wherever you might be. Thank you once again for all of the support. I do appreciate it. And yeah, I will talk to you all soon. See you.